Training camp. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tony and Andy's going to take you through training camp. I got to be honest with you, Tony. I am not a training camp guy. And I get really tired of people like, there's nothing else to do. There's plenty of Guardians. There's plenty of baseball to talk about. We don't have to analyze it. But I love the Browns. I know you love the Browns too.
Oh yeah.
And I will admit, though, for what I just said, I'm also the same guy who's analyzing Deshaun Watson passes as I was today and seeing a ball flutter out of his hand. And then 10 seconds later, I'm seeing in another video on Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now, that's another bizarre conversation for another day. But I saw Mahomes make a beautiful pass to Kelsey. It's like, damn it. Why is it Watson's ball look like that? So let's get into the odds of training camp. The good news is there's not a lot going on, which means no injuries. But at the same time, it's hard to get a gauge of what's going on with Deshaun Watson. Outside that, he looks great. So let me ask you, do we overblow and overpay to want to know what's going on every play in training camp? Or is it understandable for what I was just describing when I'm looking at videos and I want to see how, my team's doing and other teams are doing?
Yeah, I mean, football, we're a football city. So, like, obviously, we're going to always find, whether it's June, whether it's July, whether it's the heat of football season, we're always looking for what's going on with the Browns.
Yep.
So I get that. I'm the same way. We want to overreact to clips. We want to see one of an Elijah Moore route, and we're going to be like, oh, he's great. But we don't get to see everything. We get to see what they want to show us. And at the end of the day, training camp, fall camp at any level, college, high school, whatever, it's the process. It's about getting better. It's about finding what works as a team and building off of that and finding out what doesn't work and throwing it away. So you're going to see bad, you're going to see good. I think we overreact.
Yeah, I think right now the way I view it is we're all nervous about Deshaun Watson. I'm nervous. Are you nervous? I'm very, very nervous about what's going to happen because it's very unpredictable. And it's not just a localized thing. I heard national people like Florio say it this week too on WKNR. I just don't get a vibe for this with Deshaun Watson, whether it's going to be good, bad, or indifferent. Very hard to read. Very hard to read.
Yeah, I'm confident in him, but obviously the nerves have to be there because we paid him all this money guaranteed. So it's not a huge deal that it's guaranteed because he's going to play out the contract anyway. But if he continues to perform at not the level we expect, then it derails this team for the next 3, 4, 5 years, and that's what we want to talk about.
Oh, Tony, this has got to work out. I don't want to do these post games with you and other people talking about Deshaun Watson not being good. I will say on that point, I mean, everyone who watches and talks, whether it's from The Athletic or Cleveland.com or Grossi or whoever, they all seem very positive about how he looks. So that's good. But one thing I'll say I don't think is overhyped is the defense. You get a pretty good vibe about this defense. I do like how they're materializing. I don't ever want to speak too highly about something until we see it. But I got to admit, Tony, from what I read and from what I see and from what I hear, I am high on the defense this year. I get the feeling the defense is going to be much better.
Yeah, I'm excited for the defense. I mean, the D tackles worry me, but everything else, MJ Emerson and Denzel Ward and Greg Newsome, I mean, think what you want about Newsome, but as a third cornerback, that's a pretty talented guy to have there, whether he's great in the slot or not. He's still very talented to have as your third. Then a good secondary, 2 great DNs. There's things to be excited for.
I think the defensive tackles, which I could go on a rant about because I'm with you. I like Tomlinson, obviously, a lot. I want to see this guy Ika, which I've heard nothing about. Actually, now that I think about it, I've heard nothing about Ika yet.
Neither have I.
I'd love to hear something about how he's doing in camp. He's the draft pick out of Baylor. I would also like to hear more, and I've been seeing bits and pieces about it. They're going to move Zadarius Smith throughout the line. I like that, meaning that's not going to be just 2 edges. I get the feeling, Tony, and maybe I'm wrong, you're going to see, obviously, Garrett, what he does. So Darius may be inside where Tomlinson is, and maybe Ogbo. I have heard I've heard some impressive things about Ogbo. That gets me excited. To Tony's point, though, outside of Tomlinson, Jordan Elliott, cover your eyes. Togiai, I mean, just not good stuff. I would love to hear Ika's name getting in there and talking about it because one thing I'll agree with Tony is it's been a wet paper bag of running defenses here in Cleveland, not just last year, but forever. It just has not been good. And teams finally picked up on him around the Falcons game last year. I mean, Browns can't stop the run. It's been a wet way for a while. Not just a new thing. Not just a new trend. That does worry me. That does worry me. All right. So training camp, we're getting into week one. Is there a particular player or who do you really want to see? Because obviously, in this first preseason game, it's all rookies, random backups. Is there anybody in that pool that you want to see play?
Between rookies and random backups, like you were talking on, definitely Ika on the defense and all the defensive pieces that can help us, but specifically him because the concern at that position is real. I mean, Jordan Elliott, I don't think PFF is the end all be all, but if
Right.
you look at what they think about him, they don't think he really even deserves to be on an NFL roster. And we
No.
have him as our second. I think Schwartz's like insistence on running a bunch of twists with the D tackles can benefit them, and he might be able to make guys look a little better than they are. They still got to have some ability though, so definitely Ika and in that first game. But then going forward, Elijah Moore is who I'm keeping my eye on.
Yeah, I think obviously I don't think we're going to see more, but I really want to see more. I'm with you on Ika. I really want to see Jerome Ford. I just don't have a vibe for this guy at all. He is the backup running back, and I just don't have a vibe for this kid. I would like to see him play. I would also be fascinated to see if Demetric Felton's got anything. We've heard so much about him, and frankly, when he's played, he stinks. He stinks. Sorry, not stinks. He's both. He stinks and stinks. I just can't. The one thing I am tired of, Tony, cheering for the young man, wishing the best. I'm good with Anthony Schwartz. Don't even see. I've seen enough. In fact, I get very annoyed. Well, the running track athlete, Anthony Schwartz. Oh, shut up.
Look at John Ross.
He's not good. He is not good. Not good. Seen him play in person. Guy is not good. So, like, we got to move on from players like that. The other thing, too, to Tony's point, that, just, wanting to see players that obviously we're not going to see the front line, but the one front line starter that I will admit that we know is going to start is Cade York. I would love to see Cade York make some kicks, Tony. I really would. That would settle my agenda a little bit. Are you confident in Cade York?
Cade York is like that extreme kicker where he's going to give you the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows because he can, like we saw first game, he can hit the 60-yard game winners, but then he's also going to miss. His misses are something I've never seen. I've never seen a kicker just malfunction and completely miss it as bad as he does. So hopefully he can fix those. Hopefully that's like a mechanical issue. I'm not the kicking expert by any means, but I have confidence because of what he can do, but he needs to do that more often.
Typical Browns fan. I'm the same way. I have confidence until he kicks. Then once he kicks, oh my gosh, it is hand wringing. But that's kind of things to look at. But I'll wrap it up in a bow. Then I'll ask for Tony's last thought. Training camp so far for me has been good because there's been no major injuries. You are starting to see those pop up. There's an injury for the Lions. The Saints guard's out for the year. Obviously, it's going on with Burrow, but he's going to be back at some point. I'm glad the Browns really have been pretty clean outside of like nickel and diming injuries, and there's been like a few specialty players, but been very clean camp. So I actually would say it's been a good training camp because the injuries have been down.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, that's really the number one thing is getting out of training camp healthy. If we can do that, that's the biggest thing going forward, really.
Tony and I are going to do a show on Monday nights. We're going to come up with a cool theme for it. I'm sure Tony's going to be a lot more clever. He's a better writer than I am. And then we'll be doing Monday night looking at the Cleveland week, what's going on. That'll be a staple going into the fall. Also this year, we're going to be doing a lot of articles that Tony will be writing, I will be writing, will be combo writing. Go to BelieveInTheLand.com, check it out. We'll be doing all sorts of fun stuff throughout the summer. So please check it out and obviously into the fall. Tony there, I'm here. Stay cool, everybody. We'll be back on tomorrow, do a Cavs video, and then more stuff with the Cavs, Guardians, and Browns throughout the season. Goodbye. Stay cool. Just hang in there. By the way, the Guardians are going to win tonight, right?
Yeah, they're winning tonight.
Please. I am so tired of these damn White Sox. I don't like them. Real quickly, just ran. I hate the White Sox. I don't like winning. I don't know why they really rub me the wrong way. I do not. I hate them.
It just feels like it's gray when we go to their stadium. It's just there's no color. It's just
some reason the White Sox are cocky, and it's like you're
20. They failed the rebuild. They did it right, and they still failed.
That guy Berger waving his finger. It's like okay, we're good. All right. Win tonight. That's all I'm saying. The White Sox are annoying. Back on tomorrow for Cavs. Have a good day, everybody. See you soon.